Go.
Hello, this is Dave Seat with Hot Metal Services, working on a linotype at the MOP in Haverhill, Mass. Today we're showing how to clean a mold properly if you're having a sticky mold. What we use is Dixon's mold polish, and they also have a brand new can, which is the best condition I've seen in a long time. So we're not going to bother that one. We're going to put it away for posterity's sake. So what I do is I open my can of mold polish, and I have a thin reglet here. We've taken the mold off of the machine. This is a 4-pocket mold, and this one's actually 18 point. So we're going to split the mold in part, and the surfaces I'm cleaning are this surface right here, which is pretty bad, and this flat surface right here. We put a little mold polish on our stick. You don't need very much. It lasts a long time. So I'm going to polish it. And this polish is graphite and wax, I believe, is basically what they have. You can also mix up graphite and light oil to do basically the same thing, but you don't want anything really abrasive to clean this, because you don't want to put scratch marks in it or mess it up in any way. It needs to be perfectly smooth and polished, and you want to try to get in all the flat surface you can. There's also a lip out here on the recessed molds. You want to get that recessed lip. I forgot my most important tool. You need a rag. So now we wipe this off. Try to get as much of the mold polish back off of this as you can before you put it away or before you put it back on your machine. Now in a recessed mold, you have these little grooves. If you have something small enough, or a little thin or a toothbrush or something that you can just kind of polish down in those grooves, that's great. If you don't, most of the time doing this will work just fine, because you get the bulk of the surface clean again. There's that one. And we do the same thing to the bottom here. Get every bit of the flat surface that you can get to. Into the notches. These 2 notches are where your liners slide in, with the leg that's on the bottom of those for whatever liner you're using. The molds on these machines are getting very old, so they don't eject as cleanly and easily as they used to, so this may become necessary on your machine. There used to be a place back in, as they say, back in the day, where you could send these and have them ground down, and they would put an aircraft aluminum on them. Would last for a long time. You also want to clean the back of this where it comes up against your pot, because it will get cruddy as well. Trying to hold your reglet as flat as you can, because you do not want to round these edges off. If you round them off, you'll start getting some slugs that have a little flashing on them, and nobody likes to have that. On the front, you can also clean it. Again, take your most important tool, your rag. Wipe it all down. You got a nice, good, shiny mold. Now, when you put this back on the machine, you also want to make sure this surface back here is good and clean. You can take a razor blade and slide across it. You don't want any metal chips or any rust or any crud on this surface, so when it mounts on the mold disc, that it holds it off in any way. Alright, your mold goes back together. Now when you put this mold back on the machine, you put it on the mold disc, you put it in your pocket, you put your 4 screws in and you lock them down just snug, and then you take a screwdriver and put it at the top, push it down and push it to the right. That's the way that it's supposed to be seated. That's the way the whole machine is lined up on this. So you push it down to the right in the pocket of the mold, and then you tighten your top 3 screws in after you put your liners in, whichever ones you're using. Then you tighten your top 3 screws. And that's how to clean a mold.